Hello children, good evening. Again I am back with a new video, class 10 children. From the heading only on my board you can able to see that class 10 last chapter I will going to teach you that is chapter 7, lifeline of national economy children. So here in this chapter we will going to learn about what is national economy, how it has been said the lifelines of national economy. Just I have drawn one introduction over there that how the lifeline has been explained by this type of transport and communication system. In this chapter we will going to learn children about in detail information regarding what are the demand location, what are traders, who are the traders, and what is supply location children. Here I just little introduction I have just given, just you can able to see this from before starting the chapter. I just tell you that here consumer means the demand location. Consumer means suppose we are the consumers, we are buying something. Suppose about I will tell you a mobile I am talking about, because now these days it is very much usable. So that I have also drawn the mobile picture children. If you properly not understood, so please just pay me. That much also I can able to do. So here you can able to see children, there is a mobile is consumer, means we are buying the mobile from, we are having demand on mobile, right? Suppose whatever mobiles smartphones we need. So here from where it will come? From some industry it will come, definitely it is telecommunication industries and instrumentation. So from that industry supply, that is called the supply location, who are supplying to us the things, right? The goods, the materials. So from supply location to it is coming to demand location, and by in which way it is coming? It is coming through the transportation children. Transportation not only included the whatever the roadways, railways and the connectivity, it is also included like roadways, railways, land transportation, water transportation, air transportation, as it is with. It is also included now these days internet system, and also so many different means of transportation, and internet also we are just included over there. So now I will going to read from this chapter the introduction part. I think you have understood how it has been coming. Okay, we use different materials and services in our daily life. Some of these are available in our immense surroundings, while others requirement are made by bringing things from other places. Acha children, here in Keonjhar I will tell you that mostly the goods we don't have our own whatever I will tell you, the mostly the things, especially the clothes, it's coming from outside, right children? So from where some things are very much available, and some things are, especially the minerals are very much available over here. So locally we are getting that, but mostly the things, whatever the things are there, that is of the clothes. I will just give an example. Textile industry we don't have, so we have to get it from other places. How we will get it? Through the transportation system only. That is making faster, and through the traders from supply location to demand location it is coming, right children? Goods and services do not move from supply location to goods and services, whatever I have told now, without transformation from one place to another place, how it will be usable for the that consumers, or how it will fulfill the demand location people demands. Okay, through the, that is why I have put the arrow, that is why through the traders, through the transportation system. Okay, the movement of these goods and services from one supply location to demand location necessitates the need for the transport. This is the main need for the transportation. Some people are engaged in facilitating those movements. These are known as traders. Those people are involved in this transportation system, and they are fulfilling the demands of, they are taking the things from the supply location to their demand location. They are called as the traders. Please underline that children. Who make the products come to the consumers by transportation. Thus the pace of development. Pace means the speed of development upon the production of the goods and services. Definitely it has been depends on transportation system. These are some benefits I have written, and by this way I can able to show you that how it has been beneficial to us, right? By transportation. Thus the pace of development of a country depend upon the production of the goods and services, as well their movement over the place. Pace of development. Pace of development means how we are developing, in which rate we are developing. Like suppose I will tell you, suppose now this is children, you can able to see so many places. The now in local area I will tell you, just a live example I will tell you. The market price of the vegetables are very much high. Why? Because and the clothes price are very much high and fixed also. Why? Because from outside places it is generally not coming and they are not bringing. How much accessibility we used to have before the lockdown, this situation we cannot have. So that is why the price of the products is increasing day by day, right children? So this is a very much the speed of development. Now these days you can see in our economy it is stuck in one place due to this pandemic situation, right children? Movement of these goods and services can be over three important dominants of our earth. What are they? How we will move the things? Through the some ways. Second point I have written, means of transportation includes land, water and air. These are the three. Here also same thing given. Based on this, transportation can also be classified into land, water and transport. For a long time, trade and transport were restricted for a limited space. Children, here also I will tell you something. I have told you repeated time in the previous chapters that before the globalization process, in before 2000 or 1990 onwards, whenever the globalization process has not been taken, before that time only the country goods has been moving from one within the country or within the city only. Okay, so it has not moved to outside, and outsider products does not come to outsider means the foreign country product does not come to the our country, because it is very much expensive and so many rules and regulations are activated due to that. For that reason, we are now these days started after globalization, so many more markets has been opened, and India we are getting so many different type of products of outer countries, right? With the development of science and technology, this can be done. Okay, so this type of development, this globalization process only it has been successful. How? It has been successful through the development of science, technology. Now these days our infrastructure is very much nice, our technology is very much nice, the rules and regulations are becoming very much easier for us. It is the influence for trade and transport expanded far and wide. Today, the world has been converted into a large village with the help of the efficient and fast-moving transport. Now these days we can what able to see here has been said that little this brighter thing, that a small village now we can representing in front of our world also. How? Through this transportation, through this networking system. Transport has been able to achieve this with help of the equally developed communication system. Therefore, now here I will tell why I have drawn these three type of total triangle, because trade means the business, transport and communication, these three things are interrelated. With the help of that only, it has been said that small villages things has been very much famous to the whole world's place and whole countries. In fact, it has come to whole countries' eyes, right? Today, India is well linked with the rest of the world in depict the vast size, diversifying linguistic and socio-cultural popularity. These things India has been linked up with the other countries. Railways, airways, waterways, newspapers, radio, television, cinema, internet, etc. have been contributing to the socio-economic progress in our many lives. Now these days it's a very nice example, children. Without mobile phone, without technology, we cannot able to move, only we are stuck in one place. But with the help of this technology, we are very much graceful and we are very much grateful that we can able to connect with you people wherever you are staying in all over India, in all over the world, wherever you are staying, we can connect with you people very easily, right? The trades from local and international levels have been added to versatility of the economy. Definitely local level trades we are seeing. Suppose the agricultural things has been local level, it has been done. Suppose the other things, other goods has been done in the international levels also. So that also we have seen, and it is making the versatile. It has enriched our life and added substantially the growing of amenities, facilities for the comforts of the life. So ultimately it is just increasing the our living standards. In this chapter, you will see the modern means of transport and communication serve as a lifeline of our national economy. That is why it has been said, children, that is why it has been said, these are the reasons, these are the main reasons. Dense network of transportation, communication and science and technology are all totally interrelated. That is why it has been said the lifeline of our national economy, children, and it has been now portrayed very nicely. Now we will learn about the first transportation system. What is that? That is of roadways, children. Roadways we will learn very nicely. India has one of the largest road networks. One of the means one of the very much in all over the world. If so many road networks, so many countries road networks are very much famous, India is one of them. Aggregation of about 2.3 million square kilometers, it has been extended. Please underline that. At present in India, roadways have preceded railways. They still have. Here some questions has been arising. Why roadways have been preceded more than railways? Here some advantages are given for roadways. Why over the railways? We are using mostly the roadways. First and foremost beneficial things will be construction cost of roads is lesser than construction of railways. Children, railways, you can able to see railways, we have to make the different way, and it has been a vast work, and it is taking very much time taking method, and also it is very much expensive then more than definitely the making the roads, construction of the roads. Second thing, what is the road can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topography. Here also I will give you some example that like railways cannot be go through the undulating surface. Undulating surface means uneven surface, and especially in the mountainous ways. Himalayas, mostly the ways are roadways, it's not railways. Okay children, so it will be definitely beneficial for this type of roads. Now these days the rocks has been cut in different way, and it has been the tunnels are made, and through that the roadways are beneficial, right? Roadways are used. Third, C, roads can negotiate higher guidance of slopes and as such as traverse mountains such as the Himalayas. I have already told children. Road transport is economical in the transportation of few persons and relatively smaller amount of good over a shorter distances. Mostly the places in the shorter distances we cannot prefer this railways. Mostly the longer distances we are preferring it. Why? Because in shorter distances the roads are in different way. Suppose I will tell you in a locality, suppose you are living in Keonjhar. Okay, Keonjhar is having different areas are there, different localities are there. They are having different type of roads also. So railway cannot be put in every places, right? So it has been beneficial for us. Any type of size of the vehicles are available on the roadways only. That is why we are preferring this roadways. Next, please underline all this children. You have to learn it there. You have to learn it children. It is also provide door-to-door service. Thus, the cost of the loading and unloading is much lower. Whatever the cost of loading and unloading means, whatever goods you are sending, whatever transportation system you are sending. That is why children, you can mostly able to see through these national highways. Mostly the goods, whatever has been transported, it has been going through the different trailers, different trucks, like that way only, not through the heavy railways. Okay. Road transport is also used for feeder to other modes of transport, such as they provide the link between railway stations, air and seaports. Roadways can be also used to the different type of it is also introducing the different modes of transport, means of transport. What are they? Through the different railway station we have to move through the roadway only. If we want to go to the airports, then we have to move through the roadways only. If we go to the seaport, then also we have to move it, because all the places it is not available. That's why our relevant and our reliable sources will be this only, the roadways. Next, in India, roads are classified in the following 6 classes according to their capacity. Look at the map. Here also we have to see there are 6 types of roadways we can able to see. First one, whatever will be done, that will be we will do, that will be of the golden quadrilateral. I have to tell you children, golden quadrilateral are that which is making the shape of the quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means that a rhombus like of thing, and which is connecting the India's core and heart cities. What are they? More especially the zonal A1 cities, mega cities. What are they? Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Mumbai. And Delhi by 6-lane super highways. The north-south corridors. North-south corridors means it's connecting from Jammu Kashmir to up to where the Tamil Nadu Kanyakumari, and north-east and east-west corridor connecting Silchar Assam to Porbandar Gujarat. These are the projects are coming under all these golden quadrilateral. Golden quadrilateral means it is making the 4 like this type of shapes. Okay, and 6 lanes highways are there, and it's very much extended children. Now I will tell you the major objectives of this super highways to reduce the time, and it has to save the time. It has been the distance between the mega cities of India. These highways projects are being implemented by the National Highway Authority of India. Here I will tell you National NHAI. I think children you have heard it mostly the time, because in the roadside wherever we will see the work is going on, generally it has been done by this type of NHAI method. Okay. Next I will tell you what are the national highways. After this golden quadrilateral, there are super highways, super express highways, then it's coming national highways. National highways are coming under in India, suppose in a country, under that whatever the highways are there, that is national highways, link extreme parts of the country. They are the primary road system and laid to the maintained by the Central Public Works Department, PWD. Okay, a number of major national highways are run in north, south and east west direction. The historical Sheikh Shah Suri Marg is called National Highway number 1 between the Delhi and Amritsar. This is the first number of National Highway, children. Next, I will tell you more example has been given. Do you know that you have to learn it? Next, I will come to after national, then I will come to state highways. State highways, the roads linking a state capital with the different district headquarters are known as state highways. These roads are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Development in the state and union territories. Okay, State Public Union Development means PWD, local, the state PWD, they have been maintained and they have been taken care of. Suppose in Odisha we have to see that children, you have seen from Keonjhar to Bhubaneswar if you will go, so there also whatever work had been done, definitely it has been done by this PWD works. Okay. Next I will tell you district roadway. District means Keonjhar district to Mayurbhanj district if you want to go, so there will be connectivity of these type of road, connects district headquarters with the other places of the district. These roads are maintained by the Zilla Parishad. Please underline that. Here we can see the exceptional one. Children, you have to learn this classification. Other roads, rural roads with link of rural areas, villages with the towns are classified under this category. These roads are received special impetus under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. I think children you have heard this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Within under this, all the roads of the villages are connected with the main cities or the towns. Okay, nearby towns. Country by all the section of the metal road should be there. Another thing I will tell you here, it will be the last division, that will be of 6 number division, border road. Border road means children, I think you can able to hear, I don't know how many people have visited that Punjab Baga border, so that is also become a border road. Border road means in the country's border we have to see some specification of the roads are there. Apart from these, border roads are organization of Government of India undertaking construct and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. This organization has established 1960 for the development of the roads in strategic importance in the northern and southern eastern border of India. These roads have improved accessibility in the areas of difficult terrain and have helped in the economic development of the area. Definitely. Acha children, I think you have seen the pictures of different type of Himalayas, the roads picture. These are border roads pictures. So definitely that will be coming under this, and it has been mostly for our economic development, for connectivity, for betterment of our countries, and to movement of that we have to maintain, we have to just moving of that. Acha, another thing, another division is there. Roads are also been classified in the basis of the types of materials has been used, or by how the materials used for their construction, such as metal road and unmetal road. Children, here I can tell you that these has been also called metal road, the pakka sarak, and unmetal road, the kacha sarak. Children, pakka sarak, kacha sarak, everybody is knowing that whatever the metal one and the concrete one roads are there, that is called metal road, and unmetal roads are those or kacha roads. Modam it has been covered mostly the inside lanes of Keonjhar or any cities or any towns has been formed by this type of kacha roads. Children, acha, now I will tell you what is road density. The length of the road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of road. The length of road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of roads. Distribution of road not only not uniform in the country. Distribution means the roads how has been distributed one place to another place and to another place. It has been not equal to India. It has been varies. Like only 10 kilometer in Jammu Kashmir to 375 kilometer. Definitely those the places are mountainous one, definitely they should have the less density of roads, but those the places are very much flatter plains, and that facilities are there to make the roads, so there definitely it has been varies. Average road national average of this road density will be 75 kilometer. Road transportation in India faces a number of problems. Some problems are also there. What are they? Keeping in the view that volume of traffic and passengers, the road network is inadequate. First number will be the volume of traffic and passengers. These are the disadvantages, children. Please mark it down. And the roads networks are inadequate. Third one, about the half of the roads are unmetalled in this limit. Usage of during rainy season is very much difficult. Number 4 is national highways are inadequate too. Moreover, the roadways are highly congested in the cities. Children, you can able to see the Bhubaneswar or those who are the older cities. That especially the cities, the roads are very much congested. Congested means has been very much compact in one places. So that should will be a problem for the general people to move, right? So definitely, and bridges and culverts are old and very narrow. Only one way will be can be possible. To both the roads and extensive ones, it's not been possible. So these are the some disadvantages of roadways. Today, children, up to here. Thank you so much for listening to me very nicely. And another thing, everybody will note down whatever the points has been told. Hope so you are well. I have not said in the beginning time. Hope so you are well and staying at home. Please stay at home. Now this is corner at the pick. Definitely everybody should be safe at home, and we will meet soon. Thank you so much, children.